Hey guys, it's Chris. So I wanted to make an impromptu video on how to do the Diamond East Lasher Farm at a lower level. I'm level 55 here, as you can see, but I think you can do it at a little lower level as well if you want. There are some videos floating around on YouTube about how to do this farm, but all the ones I've seen have been from level 60s, and you have to be a bit more precise in your pathing if you're lower level, otherwise you'll get aggro from the patrols and they will kill you. So that's why I wanted to make this video, to show you how you can do it at a little lower level than 60 as well. As you might be able to tell, I'm also sick. I have the flu or something very similar, so there might be some disgusting noises coming up in this video. You have been warned. Alright guys, here we are on a completely fresh run. I wanted to start with a complete instance reset to show you guys two patrols. If you do the timing correctly, you don't have to worry about these because they're the same every time. If this is the first one, you just have to make sure you wait for that to pass. I mean, it's easily avoidable, but to be on the safe side, let that pass. And then you can just jump down to the spot on the northwest corner down here. There can be a patrol down here, but if you use this timing, it's never actually here. But if you buff up and conjure food and you take extra time up top, then it might be, so you could want to stand on the ledge just to make sure that that you don't jump into the patrol and die straight away, which is very easily happens. I'm not gonna go too much into like how to AE farm these in general. I'm sure you guys know that. I would just like to say that you don't really need an AE spec for this, I would say. Just the one thing I almost think is a must is ice barrier, but maybe you don't need that if you have some other spec in mind. Because since there's 10 of them, they do a bit of damage, not a lot, but a bit, and you don't have the same kiting capabilities as you do in the open world. Alright, so that was pack number 1 pulled. And that got me, and this might be covered, but it got me about a gold in pure cell loot, and then 5 different flowers, including 2 golden sandstorm, which I think went sell for, but this is 10 silver, but I think it's more. Got a gold thorn, this vendors for 40 silver. So this pull here, almost 2 gold once I get done on the auction house, which is a good pull. It's not an average pull, just to be clear. So we're about to do the next one. Just to make sure that patrol isn't coming yet. On the ground here, you have these warpwood pods, and they can do a couple of different things. Sometimes they let you loot them, I didn't there, for these things called thorning seeds. Sometimes they spew a poisonous cloud, which does a lot of damage, like a lot of damage. So you want to make sure you move out of that as fast as possible. And they can also spawn more of these lashers. So just be a bit careful. So you want to make sure you get rid of the pods before you do the pulls, because they can completely screw up your pulls as well. And then in the background you see that patrol I mentioned earlier, that once you know it's there, it's very easy to avoid. So I'm trying to show you guys all the things I learned through trial and error, basically. Alright, so I got 2 thorny vines, which sells for 30 silver each, that's 60 silver vendor, and 2 lasher roots, which is 17 each, so that's almost a gold, just those 2 things. Then 2 heart of the wilds, which are just 4 silver each. You can sell them for 7 silver on the auction house on my server, but they don't always sell, so I end up just vendor them usually. So this pillar here where I'm at now is very important. This is a safe spot. Once you clear the lashers from the first pull, the corner is a safe spot, and then you move up, kill these lashers. This pillar right here is a safe spot. And now we have this next pull right here. It's gonna be this is one of the easier pulls. You can kind of just open with blizzard, and one of them is probably gonna run around it, but that's okay. These guys in the back usually don't aggro when you pull them, but to be safe you can just wait for that patrol to pass as well. And I like to play a bit safe on occasion. So while I'm pulling, I just want to mention some things. The first one is, this is really bad exp, like really bad exp. There's 10 lashers in a pack. Each lasher gives 75 experience, so it's only 750 X per pull. And if you do a pull in, say, Sorrow Hill or the farms in Western Plaguelands, I'm sure you can get like 3000 plus X per pull consistently. So this is a lot worse exp, but I would say it's a lot better gold. And if you're on a PvP server like me, then you'll just get ganked constantly, especially if you're on the lower population side. So I kind of prefer just exping inside instances where you don't get ganked all the time. This pull, 1 Purple Lotus, 2 Heart of the Wild, 1 Thorny Vine. So that's 45 silver or so. So that's like 3.5 gold, first 3 pulls. We have another pod right here. These pods spawn in the same locations every time. So once you start learning them, that's the Poisonous Cloud. It does a lot of damage. It's gonna eat through my shield straight away. Might want to put up a new one. I'm just waiting for that to dissipate. So these 3 pulls at the beginning are the really easy ones, and then now we start with the harder ones. So you see this patrol walking here. We want to wait for that to turn back, and then we can pull these lashers. I'm going to pull them all the way back to the pillar where I just was, so I can easily nuke them down in a safe place. The patrol in the back sometimes aggroes, but it's very rare. So this should work. Yep. Wouldn't surprise me if it was one of those things where I'm recording and things go wrong just because I'm recording. Alright, so this is pack number 4. And again, you may notice I don't use Blizzard that much. I have improved Blizzard, but it's not really needed here. So you can just kind of PvE these guys down. You may want to have a mana and health potion to be safe, or a mana gem and health potions just in case. So, you know, this was not lucky on the loot, this one, but sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. That's 2 raw black truffle, and so there's 6 silver, so let's say we're still at about 3.5 gold after 4 pulls. Which I would say is still pretty good. Yeah, one really unlucky one, and 1 pretty good one at the start, and then 2 mediocre ones. Alright, so for the longest time I just did these pulls and then reset. But I want to do as many pulls as possible per run now. So we wait for the same patrol as earlier, and then we're gonna run over to where these guys were. So you can kill these guys over by where we are running now, but I prefer to pull them back. I found it to be safer, but you can look at it and see what you think. So behind this pillar is the next safe spot, like right here. This patrol is gonna go past me on the right, and there's a patrol on the left, so you can stay here safely. This run is gonna take a little bit longer than it would normally take, because I'm waiting on patrols and just to make sure everything is clean. So we're letting that patrol go back. Then we're gonna run over to the next safe spot, which is behind this pillar here. And there should be a pod right there. So by that pod, roughly, there's a book spawn, potential book spawn right there. I don't think the book's up now. I haven't actually seen any books there, but if I do more runs, hopefully I eventually will. But that's where one of the book spawns are. There's one all the way across, but it's a pain to get to if you're not level 60, from my limited experience. So this is the next patch we're gonna pull. There is, however, a patrol that might be coming in. There it is. So you want to wait for this patrol first. Make sure they're not close. So if you pull the lashers, then the patrol is when the patrol is close to them, the patrol will add, and these guys will kill you very quickly. All right, patrol is gone. We pull. I kind of like just using the ice block pull here while waiting on them. because you don't have that much space in this part of it, I would say. So that's kind of why I like just doing it like this. And, again, there's safer and better ways to do this, but I kind of like just the lazy way. Arcane Explosion is the lazy way. It's also to show you don't have to be AE spec, so if you want to have a PvP spec or a raid spec, it's very easy to do this anyways. Alright, again, unlucky one, only 6 silver there, and that was pull number 5. So 3.5 gold, 5 pulls. And we're gonna go to the next one soon. I'm waiting for that patrol to come back. Then I'm gonna start pulling these guys, and I'm gonna pull these guys all the way back again, like I did. And that was where I was planning on stopping this video, but earlier I found how to get one more pack in per run, so just want to wait for that patrol to come back so I can pull these safely. Where did you go? There, it's that patrol coming. And when you do this, a lot of times you start getting the feel for where the patrols are and how to do this fast and all that stuff. Just remember, if you're lower level than 55, their aggro range is going to be a little bit longer. Just so you know. Here on my left, this pillar right here, you can jump on it and reset the aggro. I found that most of the times when I try to do that, I end up dying anyways, because it just dies so fast at this level. So please, I didn't get the timing over there. I may have. That seems okay. You'll take a lot of damage in the first couple of seconds, and then as they start dying off, the damage goes down each pull. Ooh, this one's a little bit better than the previous couple of pulls. Alright, so we have 3 raw black truffles, that's 3 silver, 1 thorny vine, that's 30 silver, so that's 33, and 3 lasher roots, which is 51, so that's 80 silver for this one, so that's 4.4 gold so far. And that was pull number 6, I believe, if I haven't lost count. Alright, so there's one more pull you can do, and you can also skip this one because it's a little bit messy, or can be a little bit messy, but I wanted to include it in the video anyways. Again, I'm just waiting for this patrol here, just to make sure I'm on the safe side of things. I found that also at these levels, if you jump out and reset the aggro on the block there, then on the pillar there, then they don't really reset the aggro, they just kind of stand there looking around. But maybe there's a trick to getting them to reset so you can actually drink and continue pulling. Alright, these guys are moving away, I'm moving in after them. Avoid the Death Lash elite mobs are really annoying. We gotta go in here. Avoid that one as well. And then there's one more pull we can do it on the back side there. I like to just frost shield or ice barrier and drink up just so I can get a second barrier during the pull. But you can of course just pull safer and not worry too much about it. Alright, going in. And here's the final pack we're gonna pull. You see they already shoot through my ice barrier, but that's okay. I got a clear cast there, which is why I did an Arcane Explosion when I would usually have made a frost level. Alright, we got a green straight away, Bone Caster, so that's 1.4 gold on that one, if I don't disenchant it. If you have, a Star Ruby, that's the second one, so that's 50 silver, so that's basically 2 gold right there. Strangle Kelp, I think that's pretty much worthless. Raw Black Truffle, which is just a silver again. Alright, so those are the 7 pulls. There are more packs here, but I haven't really found a good way to get there without getting aggro. At least not consistently. So let's just finish up with some thoughts before we move on. So with the last pull being 2 gold, that's about 6.4 gold, I think. Just trying to keep this all in my head for this one run. I'm not sure. I didn't look at the starting time, but it's, usually you can do it in... It's less than 10 minutes, for sure. So that's 7 packs, 6.4 gold. Let's say 6.3, because that is easy math. So that's 90 silver per pull. And that's pretty awesome, I think, at this level. I mean, 6 gold just logging in like this. So again, I would recommend doing this for the gold, and you still get some exp. And if you're on a PvP server, especially where you don't have access to the good camps without getting repeatedly ganked, and even on a PvE server where there might be way too much competition for those camps. So once you're done here, you may think, okay, so how do I get up and reset the dungeon? And the answer is you don't. There's a couple of ways you do this. The first one, which is I think what most of you can and should use, is you get a friend to invite your alt, and then your friend can leave, and what happens is you log out and log into your alt. After you have to make it into a raid group, and then after 2 minutes your alt gets promoted to leader and your alt can reset, and then you can log in back into your mage and the dungeon is reset. The second way to do this is the exact same way, except if you have a second account, you don't have to wait the 2 minutes for the leadership to change. You can just have your alt be a leader on your other computer or your other account and just reset it straight away. That's the most efficient one, but it does require a second account. The third way is the laziest way, which I use, which is I simply just log out for 5 minutes, go out and alt for a couple of minutes, maybe I check the auction house, do some crafting, whatever, and that after 5 minutes you get into the start of the instance. It's not reset though, so you have to actually go out, reset it, and come back in. If you're gone for like a long time, like you go for dinner for an hour or whatever, then all the mobs will respawn, so you don't actually have to go out and reset it. And then the fourth and final way to reset it is simply just to get yourself killed, do a corpse run back to the start, buff back up, go out, reset, and come back in. So those are the 4 ways to reset it fairly quickly. And since you do this in less than 10 minutes, you have to be aware of instance lockout, which is why another reason why I opt to do the lazy way of just logging out for 5 minutes. So I hope you guys found this useful. If you did, please drop a like on the video. If you wish me good health, subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment below. Maybe you guys already know how to get to these slashers in a safe and expedient manner. Then I would love to know it as well. And I will see you guys in the next video. Take care, guys.